Television is one of mankind's greatest inventions. It has changed the world of science and technology forever. TV has the power to bring the entire world into our homes. It is the main source of entertainment and education in many of our lives. The Oxford Dictionary defines television as a system for converting these visual images with sound into electrical signals, transmitting them by radio or other means, and displaying them electronically on a screen. Although physicality is the number one factor in defining what TV is, it can not only be watched on a television set. whether it be local or cable TV, but on mobile phones, tablets, and desktops as well. Philo Taylor Farnsworth, an American inventor, at just 21 years old, was the first person to design the electronic television, which was successfully demonstrated on September 7, 1927. He conceived that camera could capture moving images which could be coded onto radio waves and then converted to a picture to be displayed on screen. The first image displayed was a line. After the invention of the first television, it has evolved time and time again to suit the needs of the viewer. From the diversity in different television sets to the inventions of add-ons such as VCRs, there's also the evolution of smaller devices to view your shows in style and comfort. There are also streaming platforms in order to allow binging. Television has changed so much, it's almost incomparable to what we started with. In recognition of the increasing impact television has on decision making by alerting world attention to conflicts and threats to peace and security, and its potential role in sharpening the focus on other major issues, in 1996, the United Nations proclaimed the 21st of November as World Television Day. In 2013, the European Broadcast Union (EBU) joined forces with the Association of Commercial Television (ACT) to promote UN World TV Day on 21 November, and to honor the medium that holds a central place in the lives of billions of people, and to highlight the many services it offers in this era of multi-screening. This allowed broadcasters from different regions to share the role of television in their lives by adding their own local or national content to a video, then airing it across their networks or online portals for their viewers. It is no secret that the COVID-19 pandemic has significantly shifted the function of society as a whole. And with the need for lockdowns and more time spent indoors, companies and organizations have made a swift transfer to formatting content to accommodate the new normal. The new normal refers to life continuing around the COVID-19 virus. Sudden shifts in daily patterns and lifestyle, adjusting to protocols set by government entities, and consuming content at a much higher rate are all a part of our new normal. As a result of the new normal, the film industry has surrendered into partnering with television streaming services, which resulted in people watching television more. Lately, there's an abundance of films being distributed by Netflix and other streaming sites because of the COVID-19 restrictions and protocols in the different countries where releases are made. In reference to an article done by Florida State University, it had been estimated that the United States box office would lose an estimated $5 billion USD, and many movie release dates would be pushed back until certain protocols were loosened. In addition to theatrical entertainment, there was also a decline in the revenue of Blu-ray, rental, and DVD in 2020, which simply means people are resorting to watching television more as a result of the new normal. People are now saying goodbye to the cable cords, central TV sets, and movie theaters, and are now welcoming different streaming services which are more easily accessible and ad-free. The future of television is unpredictable as we are adapting to the new normal. But one thing is for certain, people crave personalized, convenient content. Do not be surprised if your television knows what you want to watch before you do. With improved technology, innovative content, diversity with streaming services, and forward-thinking approach, the future of television is in good hands.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the annual UN World TV Day 2021 panel discussion hosted by the Caribbean Institute of Media and Communications, CARIMAC. I am Brittany Gray. Guild External Affairs Chairwoman and Karamat student, and I will be the moderator for this evening's discussion. Before we go any further, I would like to specially recognize Dr. Livingston White, Director of Karamak, Dr. Anthea Henderson, Course Coordinator for the Public Relations Lab, Ms. Reina Mishana, esteemed panelists and guests. This discussion promises to be captivating, informative, and filled with prizes and surprises. Throughout this event, you, our lovely audience, will have the opportunity to win big courtesy of our amazing sponsors. Keep in mind that at the end of today's conversation, viewers will be asked to participate in our Kahoots game to win a grand prize. As mentioned prior, Jamaica first joined the United Nations World Television Day celebration in 2016, with Karamak hosting the annual event. Jamaica's participation in this global celebration was done to recognize the substantial impact of TV on our society economically, politically, and socially. The very first staging orchestrated and executed by final year Karamak students had assistance from the Jamaica Film Television Institute. Now, fast forward to 6 years later, final year public relations students continue to celebrate with a panel discussion leading with the theme, The New Normal, the role of TV in challenging times. We all know that television plays a major role in disseminating information on both local and global issues. But what is often overlooked is the amount of peace and security TV provides in homes and communities. This brings us to our sub-theme, TV as a coping mechanism, where we will hopefully drive awareness to the matter of television and mental health in youth. Today, we are honored to have in our presence an immensely diverse, multifaceted, and young panel who will be sharing their experiences and thought-provoking insights on the topic of television, whether it is working in and around it or simply growing up with it, in hopes of predicting development in the industry within the next 5 to 10 to 20 years. But before we introduce our wonderful panelists and begin this evening's discussion, let us welcome Dr. White, the Director of Karamak, to provide the opening remarks.
Thank you, Brittany. Welcome everyone and happy World Television Day 2021. It is very important for us at the Caribbean School of Media and Communication, CARIMAC, to recognize a day like World Television Day because, as you can imagine, many of our students doing journalism, integrated marketing communication, film production, animation, digital media production, they must interact with media platforms, radio, television, newspaper, digital, and social. And they're not only interacting as audience members, they're also behind the scenes creating content. So it's very important that we here at CARIMAC recognize a day like World Television Day. Since the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, we've had to clearly rethink how we use these media platforms. You know, we have gone to be teaching remotely online. Many of our students are participating in their classes remotely right now. And so it's interesting to see that the theme that the students chose this year is one relating to how the television has, played a role in the pandemic. And as we reflect on the role of television in our lives, many of us will argue that, yes, it has been a coping mechanism for many of us, but others will argue that, it has only been the source of stress, a lot of information overload, misinformation, disinformation. Regardless of which side of the debate you will, agree with, it's important that we recognize that television continues to impact our lives. And so we're happy that we're keeping World Television Day alive by recognizing the day every year with a panel discussion. Let me congratulate the final year public relations students under the guidance of their course lecturer, Dr. Anthea Henderson, for sustaining this effort. And let me recognize as well their Program Coordinator, Dr. Alpha Obika, and congratulations to all who have helped to make this panel discussion this year a success. I'm definitely looking forward to the discussion, and I wish you a very productive debate as you consider the role of television in these challenging times. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. White. Now, the final year public relations students are the driving force behind this year's event, as will have been stated by Dr. White. So despite the total pivot from face-to-face to online learning due to the coronavirus pandemic, these students have managed to beat the odds by including an equally, if not more engaging discussion in comparison to that of it being in person. With this event being the second online staging, they have managed to still obtain the voices and views of persons in the streets for a variety of perceptions and attitudes towards TV. Let's take a look.
Hey there, I'm your host Latavia, and we are here in the streets asking individuals their take on television and what it means to them. So follow me now. Hi, can I have your name, please?
My name is Jerome Scott.
Awesome. Hi, Jerome. Jerome, I just want to ask you what role TV has played in your life since the pandemic?
Well, since the pandemic, I'm a busy person. I don't have time for television. All I do is my painting. I'm an art painter. Yeah, you can go on Flawless and IG. You can look up at Flawless Artwork 8, everything on one. So TV, I can more put my work on TV. It would be more better for television, because right now, nothing that makes sense going on television.
Oh, so you're saying you really don't watch the TV programs, but you watch mostly streamed movies?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So those streamed movies, would you say they help you when you're stressed or sad?
Yeah, they actually need to release the stress, because sometimes you're going through a lot of things, and just one movie, when you watch it, like, is it able to sleep or you find something constructive to do?
Matthew, how would you say TV has helped you since the pandemic?
I give you more information, give you watch TV man and something.
Awesome. So you only watch TV programs?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Approximately how much hours of TV do you watch daily?
We watch regular.
Regular? So it's definitely a daily routine?
Yeah.
Can I have your name, please?
My name is Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Nicole, can you tell me how has television helped you since the pandemic?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, it is like that stress reliever that we really need. It updates us on the information as it's presented, especially with this whole COVID. It gives us that awareness and when we can take our vaccines and all of those, even though I haven't taken mine, but you know, it makes me know when and that. It's a good distractor. It's a good distractor.
Definitely. So you'd say television is important to you, yes?
Very, very important, especially for us now when we need something other than the real world. Television is that aid that we need just to take our mind away from what's currently going on.
Definitely. So do you watch TV programs or streamed shows?
Both. I watch the news, the regular news, and I stream movies like on Netflix and those, but I have it presented on the actual TV, so yeah.
Awesome. And last question. Could you please, in your word, define television for me?
All right, so for me, I would say television is gathering like signals and presenting them on some digital platform. Could be like a screen, or it's just presenting it on some screen situation. Right?
Definitely. Hi, can I have your name, please?
Sharika.
Awesome. Hi, Sharika. My name is Latavia. Sharika, how would you say that television has helped you since the pandemic?
It has helped me in a very creative way because I'm not working at the moment, so it keeps me entertained right through.
Definitely. So Sharika, is watching TV a part of your daily routine?
Yes, it is, especially the news.
Awesome. So it's very important to you?
Yes, because I'm in the know about what's going on in the country.
Definitely. So do you watch only TV program or you stream shows?
I stream shows like Lifetime, Fox, and HBO, MTV, and so on.
Have your name, please?
My name is Ricardo.
Awesome. Ricardo, how would you say television has helped you since the pandemic?
Well, to be honest, it has helped me a lot. You know, I've been informed about, corona and all.
Definitely. So approximately how much hours do you watch TV daily?
Not a lot. Like about maybe half an hour because of work and so forth.
Understand. So is it streamed television or just TV programs?
Just regular TV programs.
So TV is important to you and your family?
Have to be. Not only to me, TV is important to everyone in Jamaica. Everyone. I don't care what you eat or who you say. TV is very important. TV, all the channels in Jamaica on the television is very, very important.
Hey guys, you heard it here from us in the street, how important television is and how it contributed to individuals during this pandemic. Now back to you.
Wow, now you have heard the views of those in the streets, and I encourage those in the comment section to share their views on how they believe TV has impacted them since the pandemic. And before we go any further, I would like to recognize our sponsor for this year event. We have True Shake, CLT Loan Services, Frame of Reference, AU79 Studios, Candor Queens, Golden Femme, and Get Aced. Now that we have heard the views of persons on the topic, let us discuss it with the experts in the field. And I hope that you learn a lot from this discussion. Now, our panelists are now online and eager to share their views. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. O'Dane Jones, a sixth form student at the Meadowbrook High School who plans to pursue a career in human resource management and branch off to entrepreneurship. Mr. Kiefer Denos, Vice President of Properties and Special Initiatives for the UWI Guild, former Guild Public Relations Officer, Marketer, and Social Media Manager. Mr. Jonathan Singh, who was supposed to be here, but unfortunately, he is unavailable to attend. So in his place, Mr. Shamar Crossfield, who is a YouTuber and content creator, will be speaking. Again, on our panel is Mr. Brian Cuff, a media practitioner, sports producer, host, reporter, videographer, editor, wow, just to name a few, covering the Olympic Tokyo Dreams 2021 and even lectures at the Northern Caribbean University. And finally, our woman of the panel, Dr. Monique Lynch, author, entrepreneur, youth ambassador, and mental health professional and advocate. Welcome, everyone. How is everyone feeling today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I am great. Feeling good. Ready for the discussion. I'm looking forward to a very enlightening discussion.
All right, awesome. So let's get right into it. Okay, so TV as we know it is a medium in which moving images are transmitted for news or advertising or entertainment. In this new normal of the virtual space, we have to be working from home. Parents have to be homeschooling their children in a new blended learning setting. They have to be wearing masks in public, and we have the lockdowns and quarantine. So tell me, do you think television has played a significant role in a time such as this, and why? And I'd like to begin with Mr. Cuff.
Hi, Brittany. Thank you for having me. Good evening to everyone. Do I think that it has, let me make sure I get your question right, if it's played a significant role in a time such as this? Of course. I think a lot of people would have gone to TV to get information in a time such as this. We're in a virtual space, right? So the first thing people will think of is TV. Yes, some people may argue phones, some people may argue tablets, but at the end of the day, some of us project our phones on our TVs, some of us project our tablets on our TVs. And TV, a lot of people, as far as I know, a lot of people may believe that TV and tablets, the ratio is the balance is shifting. You know, a lot of people are using tablets and using their smartphones. But the truth is, a lot of people do not have smartphones, do not have access to the internet, do not have access to tablets. So a lot of people still go back to their TV. Radio may be more predominant because radio is more accessible. But at the end of the day, TV is next in line. And a lot of people have turned to their TV for comfort, for information, for entertainment. And a lot of us have started YouTube, myself included. So big up to all the YouTubers out there. A lot of us have now channeled our virtual lives onto a screen.
Thank you, Mr. Cuff. And I'm going to a younger view now. So Mr. Jones, tell me, what are your views on the significance of TV in a time such as this, and why?
A pleasant good night, good afternoon to each and everyone. That question, I concur with the panelists that just went on. Television has served a very significant role and continues to play a significant role in the times that we're in right now. Television, people turn to television to get up to date with the information that is around, whether local or internationally. But not only does television serve to inform us, but television also serves to entertain us. No, if we were supposed to just sit down every day and pay attention to what's going on the news, we would oftentimes get depressed because what we're feeding our mind is negative energy. So people turn to a movie, watch a movie to relax, take them out of this world, and just relax and let loose and as a stress reliever. Not only does TV serve as a form of entertainment, but TV also serves as a form of education for the younger persons. Television has really played a significant role in the way in which people, students, or schools in general use as a form of getting or reaching out to the students.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. And I would like to hear the perspective of each of our panelists on this question. So Mr. Denos, you can go next, please.
All right, thank you, Brittany. Television, definitely very important at this time. I'd like to touch on something that one of my fellow panelists would have said, and that's the fact that a lot of persons don't have access to smartphones or the internet or whatever. I think that's a very important point and one that we must not take for granted. We must not dismiss the importance of the traditional television in an era like this. So persons in rural areas that may have limited access to Wi-Fi or so on, the importance of television to them in a time like this is completely important. As you know, they need valid information on COVID-19, the pandemic, the regulations and policies set by the government, even if it's not in Jamaica, wherever they are, vaccination, if they want information on anything like that, they would turn to their TV or, as he also said, their radio. So I don't want us to dismiss the importance of traditional television. But apart from that, the importance of TV in this time is also, it stretches beyond that as well. Looking at the fact that we're in a very trying time, a lot of us are troubled, whether by stress, it takes a toll on us, to be very honest. The pandemic, some of us being locked up 24/7, have nothing to do. And a lot of time we turn to television, whether through our tablets or laptops, a smart TV, whatever it is, and we find that escape through television. So it's very important.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Denos. Dr. Lynch.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Just to add to what my fellow panelists would have already shared, I think TV serves as a bridge between, government and the general public. We depend on TV for almost everything: entertainment, news, education, culture, weather, sports, and even music. I believe that especially in this pandemic, TV serves as a safe haven for many persons. I also believe that it's a medium through which people, receive updates, and especially for us here in Jamaica, our facts, in quote unquote, really come from the information that we would have received from the TV, especially about the vaccine and COVID. And people mainly in Jamaica make informed decisions based on what would be shared in the media via TV.
Thank you, Doctor. And finally, Mr. Crossfield.
Yes, I definitely believe that TV, especially in this day and age, has a lot of significance. There are varying different factors, and I'm definitely going to be echoing a lot of what was already said, because everything that was already said are strong points, really good points. In the time when the pandemic had just started, Prime Minister would have to hold press conferences. Where was the first place that you went to initially to get to go to the press conferences? You turn on TVJ, because TVJ would be broadcasting the press conferences, or CVM. So and even then, when the pandemic had started as well, a lot of schools, a lot of primary schools, they didn't know what their next step was. So while they were trying to get that sorted out, there were some programs on television that had different educational institutions, like teachers from those institutions come in and teaching, carrying out some lessons. You see them teaching maths, social studies, out of these different subjects. And I used to tune in as well, see if I can, recall some of what they were saying. So yeah, and we even see it in the fact that a lot of the students nowadays, especially in the rural areas, they don't have access to internet as much. So they still like will go on and log on to the TVJ that's broadcasting that program. Even like, sometimes in the afternoons they would have TV shows because then can go on the YouTube or the Netflix. There are some cartoons that TVJ would show on their station from like 12 o'clock, go straight back to 5 o'clock. So, a lot of these different things, you see the significance coming out for television. And even in what I believe it was what Decimus had said with movies and game shows, these different things that are acting as stress relievers for individuals. So yeah, it definitely has a lot of significance today and before. So yeah.
Right, thank you. And I agree with all of the responses that were given by our panelists. And there's no doubt that TV has changed in comparison to 20 or 40 years ago. So I want to know from all the panelists, how would you say that the change that has occurred in TV has increased the screen time of viewers? We can begin with Dr. Lynch.
All right, I believe that TV is more diverse. It's more inclusive now, especially for the deaf community and the disabled community on a whole. We now have age-specific channels for children and adults. So hence, because of the accessibility, the inclusivity, and the diversity, screen time will automatically increase for a lot of persons because everyone can find a program or a channel or a station that aligns with what they like or what they're passionate about.
Thank you, Dr. Lynch. Mr. Jones, what are the programs that you go to for TV when you watch TV?
I watch programs such as either comedy, any form of comedy, any form of action movie, any type of romance movie. But yes, that's basically me.
All right, and do you believe that since the pandemic, you have started to watch TV more than you usually do?
In all honesty, yes, that is the case at this point because some persons have been laid off from their jobs. So we find that the form in which people find a way to cope is by watching television. There's nothing that they're doing other than just using television as their coping mechanism. So people just start watching it more. For me, yes, I have found that I've started watching television more often than I did because I would be at school during a particular period. Now I'm home all day. So TV is what I use to fill that gap in time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones. And I can attest to that. I have also started to watch TV a bit more, having to put on plan to ensure that I have internet to stream the shows that I want. And with that said, I think now is a perfect time to give the audience a taste of some of our amazing giveaways. So for this giveaway, we will be giving out 400 credits, 400 digital and flow credits. Now, the question to win this prize is, what is the theme of our event? And I'll just comment down below in the chat for your chance to win some credit. In the meantime, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors. True Shake, CLT Loan Services, Frame of Reference, AU79 Studios, Candid Queens, Golden Femme, and Get Ace. So nobody wants the credit? Nobody wants some credit? Okay, and we have a winner. And the winner for this prize is Shamar Hilton. Shamar, you have won yourself 200 digital credits and 200 flow credits. Congratulations. Now, since the pandemic, more persons have been using television as their main source of entertainment and as a stress reliever. That would have been said earlier by our panelists. Would you say that television is a good stress reliever, and what are the different ways in which TV can be used to cope? And this question is directed to everyone on the panel.
All right, let me start. I feel that I can look at this question in with a yes and a no. On the flip side of the yes, I believe that yes, it can be a good reliever. And you do have some research that will back that up that says that, watching TV does make you more relaxed. Hence, it provides a momentarily escape from whatever stresses that we are facing. But the highlight word is momentarily, it doesn't last. Some of the different ways, though, that it could be a good stress reliever is that, well, especially for me during this pandemic, I find TV helps with skill development. A lot of DIYs, you can learn home development from HGTV, cooking channels. You have several different channels, that can enhance your skill development. 2, it helps with exercise. 3, it allows you to experience or have experiences of different parts of the world. It allows you to recharge and to reset. It serves as an outlet of expressing how you feel. I know a lot of times we as women, I'm not sure for men, we as women, we watch a show and it's very sappy and we cry and we actually let out some emotions. So yes, it can be a good reliever. But on the flip side, you have research that says that TV is one of the 6th highest cause of stress in the US and in the Caribbean based on the media overload or the information overload. So you can look at it from both ways.
I agree with Dr. Lynch. Let me just drop a quick point on the screen time earlier. As a father of 2 girls, trust me, a lot of times when I want some relief, then the TV or the screen is where I allow them to go to so that I can get some relief. So it plays a double role. I mean, sometimes you feel guilty as a parent, having them on the tablet so long and you try to rectify that situation. But the next time, it has come in handy and I'm really grateful for that. But as it relates to stress relief now, like TV, Dr. Lynch said, as a female, for men, when we watch football, listen to me. We feel like say we are baller. We feel like say we take the shot. When a goal score, you one left in the stadium, we run up and down. When we watch an action movie, we start becoming the characters. So it's mixed because when we get that stress relief, we want more of it. So we binge watch a lot more. And sometimes when the movie brings us to a high and then it drops us to a low, we lost the stress, but then we take on additional stress. Because some of us, our favorite character dies, or that person who I can relate to them, take him out of the show. So it plays a dual role. I do agree. I do believe that it does more of the relief personally, because I use TV as a go-to. I teach TV classes, I watch TV, I work with TV. And when I was at Carrimack, I was studying TV. So I do believe that it has its good and its bad. And I tend to believe it's more good depending on what it is you're watching.
Okay, good afternoon again, everyone. As stated by Dr. Lynch and Mr. Bryan, television can serve as a stress reliever, but as Mr. Bryan said a while ago, it depends on what you're watching. Because normally you have some persons that get up every day and what they do is pay attention to what's going on in the news. So every day you get up, you see that someone's dying, someone has caught COVID, someone's dying from COVID. That now is feeding your brain negative energy, in which turns around and helps you to become a negative person. In a sense, you're feeding your brain negative information, and that's how you start to play out in life. So it actually depends on what you're watching. So in order for you to be able to say that TV is a good stress reliever, it is, but you have to have balance at the end of the day. So television does serve as a perfect stress reliever.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with what Jones just said a while ago. Full 100% agree because it depends on what you're watching. I know some people who stop watching news, straight up just stop watching news because they're tired of hearing over and over somebody died, people are dead from COVID, somebody get kidnapped, all kind of different negative energy that the media kind of feeds in a sense. So I know some people who stop watching news, but on the flip side, people have taken it upon themselves to make sure to tune into like HBO or HBO Max or something and watch them movies, them TV shows on ABC, Lifetime movies, all kind of different mediums. So yeah, it definitely depends on what you're watching. So on that end of things, I can see it as being a stress reliever. On the other end of things, I see it as causing the stress. And on top of that, as Mr. Cuff said, you have it leads to binge watching. So that's a whole nother discussion about binge watching and how it can lead to procrastination and all kinds of different side effects.
I just want to jump on something that Shamar said. Also, he mentioned Lifetime, and I just remember that sometimes TV affects how we behave. Because I'm sure we've all had or we have all watched Lifetime movies, and after that we become so suspicious of people. Like something happened and we watch it and we think that, hey, I see this in the movie, so this is what is happening, and it affects us. It makes us suspicious of people, and it takes over our behavior and how we think on our thought process, and it really affects us in real life. So that's another flip side to TV.
Dr. Lynch, we don't all watch Lifetime. Sorry, Kiefer, we don't all watch, and it's more of my friends who will watch. And not only do they become paranoid, but they believe that their relationships, based on what happened in a show, they like that to their relationships, and that may not necessarily be true as well.
All right, so I was saying that it can be both, and I'll tell you why, right? It's easy for us to use TV as a way to escape binge watching especially, but through that it's also easy for us to lose our touch with the real world and reality, and that in itself can cause stress. So we'll be there binge watching, the show has 8 seasons, and you don't move out of bed for that entire time. You try to finish that 8 seasons while the world is still running around you, still spinning while you're there in bed, right? You forget your tasks, you don't go to work, you don't go to school, whatever it is. And those things may affect you, eventually you start reaching up. If you don't go to work, you probably reach late. If you go to school, you probably show up in the class when it's soon finished, stuff like that, because you're so into binge watching. And even when that show is finished, instead of getting back to reality, you find it so difficult to get back to reality, rather that you decide to go and find something that brings you back into the feeling that binge watching, whatever series gives you. So you look at next 8 season show for go binge watch, and all of a sudden you forget that the world is still spinning. So that's another take on it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Denos. Thank you, panelists, for your responses. And the term binge watching came up in everyone's response. And this question, I'm directing it to you, Dr. Lynch. Now, since the pandemic, as expressed, a lot of us has been binge watching series on Netflix and everything. What effect can binge watching have on an individual who believes he or she is using this as a coping mechanism? And can it actually be a deeper agent of depression?
All right. So that concern would be valid. Binge watching in itself is not an unhealthy habit, but the overuse of it. And we all talked about moderation. I've heard one of the panelists talk about moderation, and it's about moderation. Too much of one thing is definitely not good. Binge watching affects if it affects your day-to-day competence, and I think Des knows, that's your name, right? Yes, he spoke about it affecting your day-to-day competence. Now, anything that affects your day-to-day competence is a mental health issue, and if continued over time, it can become a mental illness. So if you're binge watching to the point that you don't shower, you forget that you don't eat, morning come, you don't even know, you get 2 hours sleep, and the first thing as you open your eyes, you grab the laptop, you grab the tablet, you're ready again, up and ready for another series, then something is wrong. It's an indication that something is definitely wrong. So yes, I would say that it is an unhealthy habit if overused.
Can I chime in on that, Brittany? So Dr. Lynch and Kiefer made mention of the binge watching. When you started, Brittany, you said that you have a young panel. I'm feel good, feel good because I do believe I'm young. I left Karamak in 2008, so I'm still fairly young. But then now, when you talk about binge watching, I remember my wife and I, we were watching, I don't remember which particular show, but we spent the whole morning, it was about 4 o'clock when we stopped and we realized that, hey, okay, we're still watching. And we decided to watch one more till the sun was coming up after 5. And then I remember that I have work at 8 o'clock. So between 5 and 8, I didn't feel so young anymore when I got the 3 hours of sleep, right? So the old me started showing up at 8 o'clock when I got up for work. So it really drains you. And I did some research in coming for this panel. And one of the things we talked about with binge watching was dopamine. And watching a show over and over and getting in it like for real, it makes you start becoming a part of the show. And you're getting a rush and you're feeling satisfied when the hero kills the bad guy, or you're feeling satisfied when the person you rate get the girl. And it takes so much out of you that when you finish, you feel like you were a part of the show. And then when you go to work, you're at work and you're thinking about the show and you don't feel too good, and you start contemplating, I think the show should have gone this way, especially like me who is in production. When I go back home, I want to see the next 6 episodes to see how that is going to turn out. I want to feel the same way I felt the night before. Physically, I can't manage, but trust me, when the show starts and you hear the theme, you just hear the Netflix, you get excited, right? So it has a draining effect on you. And YouTube too, Shamar can tell you, when we binge watch all of his videos or whatever, you get so hooked on it. You want to stop, but you don't want to stop.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Koch, for that. The new normal, the role of TV in challenging times. So guys, I know that we are all using TV to help to de-stress, but remember, too much of one thing, no good. With that said, we are at another giveaway. Now, this giveaway is sponsored by TrueShake. This giveaway, the individual will win again $200 flow credits and $200 digital credits with TrueShake. Now, the question for this giveaway is, what is the sub-theme for this event? And again, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors, TrueShake, CLT Loan Services, Frame of Reference, AU79 Studios, Candor Queens, Golden Femme, and Get Ace. And audience, please remember that at the end of this discussion, we will be having a Kahoots game where you will get the opportunity to win the grand prize of this event. So please stay tuned. right, so we're just waiting a little bit for the winner. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to this year's World TV Day. I hope that the discussion has been interesting thus far and you are learning about the effects of TV. All right, and we have our winners. Congratulations to Mr. Renardo Harvey and Mr. Justin Lynch on winning credit and True Shake. So moving into our third segment of today's discussion. So we have seen how TV has changed over the years. It has changed in its design, its features, and programs that are aired throughout the year. So what do you think TV should or would look like 5 years from now? And this question is directed to all of our panelists.
Good afternoon again, everyone. In my point of view, since we're in a changing time, with everything is changing, I would only assume that television is also going to be more modernized than it is now. So that would be my answer.
Just to piggyback on Odin, I think maybe we'll get to the stage where maybe the TV will be used as a house phone. Maybe monitoring, more monitoring control of adult content for kids, maybe non-remote control of the TV. Maybe we just use straight voice. I'm not sure, but that's what I would say. Maybe that's where we're headed.
Very interesting question. I think that going forward, we'll definitely see streaming continue to take over. It will continue to grow even more than it is right now, especially with the inception of 5G, and that makes streaming a lot easier and faster. So I would expect to see a lot more persons streaming as opposed to traditional cable TV. I'm also interested. I heard Zuckerberg come up with this Meta thing. I'm interested to see how that may affect or impact television going forward or streaming going forward. Because I heard it's a whole digital virtual reality thing, and it's almost like the next big internet move. So I'm very interested to see how something like that, if not a similar concept may impact streaming and television on a whole.
Yeah, I think TV continues to evolve. We are seeing the evolution. Well, it's not really an evolution now, but like one spot media in Jamaica where everything is accessible on our phones. And I think more TV stations and more communication houses need to get with it, because this is the way. So you're streaming your TV on your device, whatever device it is. So for TV to survive, radio has done it. We have radio frequencies on all our phones. We just need to go into the radio app, or we can go online. So TV needs to continue to evolve and become more accessible to more people. I don't think 5 years from the road it's going to be more obsolete, because the more things changes, the more they remain the same. And our communities, in our rural communities, Jamaica should be fully HD by now, but we're not. I remember when it was rolled out and we said that it's going to happen, it has not yet happened. And the truth is, if it does happen, we're going to lose a large part of our communities. So I don't think it's going to change that much in 5 years from a local perspective. Maybe internationally, I'm going to have to be playing catch up as usual. But I really do believe that it will evolve, and it continues to evolve, because we understand how streaming goes, and we understand that it is the future and the current present. So we just have to evolve.
Yeah, definitely. We have to evolve. And I also see, not just in terms of what is being shown on TV, but also the way how we consume the television. Desnos made mention to the advent of more streaming platforms being broadcasted on television to a wider audience. I wouldn't be surprised if, not necessarily 5 years down the line, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see TV and those local networks taking up, for example, some influencers in the space of social media, them being active hosts on certain television programs more than they are already. Because in my opinion, this is we're kind of going into a digital age. We already are in the digital age, but we will only continue to advance in the digital age. And I see television producers, people in the industry really understanding the impact and influence that a lot of, even I don't want to say, but YouTubers and different influencers on social media in the space, a lot of them have that influence to draw even more viewers to their station. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years they see a lot more social media personalities on television.
Okay, thank you, panelists. And that was actually the final question that we have for you this afternoon. I must say thank you so much for coming and participating in this discussion. I truly appreciate the opinions of each and every one of you here today. But before we leave, I'm going to open the floor for all viewers to direct questions they may have for the panelists. While our viewers are sending in their questions, I'm just going to do another giveaway. And this giveaway, persons will be able to win $200 digital credit and $200 for Flow credit and a gift bag from Candor Queens. Now, the question for this giveaway is, what are the two main benefits of television? All right, as we wait for the response, let me just repeat the question so that our viewers remember. What are the two main benefits of television? I think this is an easy question. We should have answers rolling in right now. Again, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors: TLT Loan Services, TrueShape, Frame of Reference, AU79 Studios, Candor Queens, Golden Femme, and Get Ace. Oh, and guys, remember that after this, we will be having our Kahoot game where you will be able to win the ultimate prize. I'm not going to say what the prize is. You have to participate and see what comes. And do you think the panelists, do you think you want to participate in this Kahoot game? Do you want to win the grand prize? Yes? No?
What is the grand prize?
Well,
Let's see if we're tempted.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but trust me, you will enjoy it.
Wouldn't mind participating at all. Then.
Can you repeat, please, Mr. Crossfield?
Wouldn't mind participating. Like, yeah, I'll participate.
All right, awesome. So when next time, I'm looking to see your name up there on the board.
They say nothing tried, nothing done, Shamar. I agree.
We've been having this discussion about TV all afternoon. Let me hear what are some of the favorite shows of our panelists. Starting with Mr. Koff, what is your favorite TV or Netflix series?
Too many favorites to name. I will tell you a few. You is definitely one of them. Yeah, definitely. As crazy as it is, a lot of us enjoy. I won't say we can relate to him, but we can enjoy what he offers. I love my favorite movie of, well, not of all time, but one of them that stands out to me is Inside Man, which is with Denzel, and they are in the bank, because I was not of the belief that you could do a show in one place the whole show in one place and have you on the edge of your seat. So that's why it stands out for me. You know, it never went anywhere but the bank, and it was inside a room in the bank. And of course, Squid Games is up there, and Money Heist to the world.
Definitely Money Heist. Money Heist is one of my favorite series on Netflix. Mr. Jones, tell me what your favorite series is.
Good afternoon again. All right. So in terms of series for Netflix, my favorite series would be Riverdale. I have honestly started to grow a thing for watching Riverdale. It's a very even though it has been on for a good while, it's a very unique show to me. So in terms of series, Riverdale is my favorite. In terms of movies now, I have realized that I have started to become more drawn to romantic type of movies. My favorite Christmas romantic type of movie would be called Christmas in Homestead. That is a very good movie. You guys should watch it. Trust me, it's a very good movie. And I'm also a Marvels person, but I'm yet to watch Eternals. So yes.
See, Dr. Lynch looked like she was ready to make a comment.
Yeah, I watch you, Blacklist. Anything where there's a detective, so LA's finest. Any detective, any police, any army movies, anything with guns and action, that's me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, panelists, for answering that question. All right, so we have a winner. We have our winners for the final giveaway, and those persons are Ricardo Lanaman and Kino. Okay, Mr. Kino and Mr. Lanaman, congratulations. You have won yourself some digital credit and a gift bag courtesy of Candor Queens. Now, before we jump into our little Kahoot game, I have one final question to ask our panelists and the audience. Now, how do you stop yourself from getting addicted to TV?
I would say first to practice everything in moderation. There's nothing wrong with binge watching. There's nothing wrong with having a favorite show, but time and place. If you know you have work, 8 in the morning, have a cutoff time. Or if you can move them to Friday nights when you don't have work on a Saturday. So just be smart about it. If you realize that you're going overboard, you probably need to seek help because it's probably going over into addiction. So just practice moderation, time management, have an accountability partner, somebody, if you know that you're having an issue with this, especially in this pandemic, have someone to just monitor you to say, all right, now it's time to cut off, and it's not running away. It's on Netflix. It's not going anywhere. You can watch it tomorrow when you come from work. You can watch it on the weekend. So yeah, just practice moderation.
For me,
all right, go on, Shukifa.
Yeah, I would say for me, my responsibility is definitely keep me in check. Right? I go to school, I work, and I'm a part of the guild. And of course, I also have a private life, a social life. And the responsibilities that I have to do will definitely keep me in check. So a lot of times I want to lay in my bed and don't go anywhere and sit down and watch a movie or binge watch a show. But I know that if I do that based on the responsibilities I have, I'm not just going to be disappointed myself or letting down myself. I have people that I work for, I have people that I work with that are going to rely on me, both professional job and at the guild level. A lot of students rely on the work I do as a guild counselor. So I can't just sit down and be like, all right, no responsibilities today. I'm going to lay down and watch a show. I actually made a tweet the other day, funny story, saying that I won't be doing any responsibilities this week. I'm just going to be playing some game and watching some shows. And the guild president came straight in my messages and be like, nope, I can't do that. So my responsibilities definitely keep me in check. I didn't get the answer to the question prior, and I would just like to say for me, I'm a sci-fi mystery adventure kind of guy. My favorite series would be the originals easily. So yeah.
Big ups to Mr. Dennos. He's a young soul. Well, a young man with an old soul, right? And that's my answer. He gave some responsible answers. You have to be deliberate. And a lot of times we don't give ourselves credit. Oh, I'm just so addicted that I can't stop it. Oh, I don't even realize what I'm doing. But we do realize, and we have a personal responsibility to say no or to stop ourselves. You know, we do it when a guy is interested in a girl. He makes deliberate attempts at getting that girl. He may borrow somebody's car, he may borrow somebody's clothes, borrow somebody's iPhone and make it look whatever way he's trying to appeal to her. He does it. It's the same thing. If you realize that this thing is becoming too addictive and you're realizing it's having a detrimental impact on your life, cut it off. Just stop it. Make a deliberate attempt at doing what you need to do before you're doing what you want to do.
I really, really, really agree with the points that were said a while ago, previous to this one. For me personally, I realize that it is easy to get addicted, especially when we have nothing to do in the day. So we just get addicted to TV. And we have to remember that we have responsibilities at the end of the day. And that these responsibilities, if not carried out, carry consequences. So for me personally, I have classes, I have schools, I have projects to do. So I have to personally say to myself, okay, hey, you have responsibilities, as said by a previous panelist, you have responsibilities to carry out. And if these responsibilities are not conducted, then there will be consequences. I say to myself, do I really want to, I've reached this far in this race. Do I really want to disappoint the persons that really help to motivate me and push me this far? Why stop now when I can keep going and just continue to do it? What I do also is I set a reminder on my phone saying, hey, you have this to do. So I'll give myself some time and I say, okay, you can watch TV for 30 minutes. But after those 30 minutes have expired, then the alarm will go off and I say, okay, I have to go do some studying now. So responsibilities and everything should be done in moderation, as said by the other panelists.
All right, just to piggyback on what Adane says, sometimes it's really not that easy. Sometimes you have the mindset and you know in yourself that it is, it's getting out of hand and you want to do something, but you don't have the willpower. Seek professional help because addiction is real. You have people who try to stop smoking, but they still smoke. Try to stop drinking. Addiction is not that easy to just get over or to just say you have responsibility. Sometimes it's not that easy to just do the right thing. So if you're in that spot where you're finding it difficult to stop, then you may need professional help or you may need support from your friends in your inner circle or from family. So just reach out.
Yeah, I think it's important because when you think about addiction, it's important to actually seek help from an external source because sometimes it's hard to fully rely on your own self.
Mm-hmm.
But as it relates to how I try to manage the amount of TV that I consume, I have to schedule out my day. So because I know that I have responsibilities and different things that I need to get done, I try not to let television, in the time that I'm consuming television, I try to not let it consume me. So I try to schedule out my day and the things that I have to do. At least that's how I try to cope with it, how I try to handle it. I found it effective, but it's definitely not something that I can say would work for everybody because it just depends on your own strengths and weaknesses. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, panelists. And I have one final question for you guys from the audience. And the question is, which would you prefer to be? A TV celebrity or a YouTube sensation?
Hi. Oh.
That's interesting.
I see Dr. Lynch thinking about it, but come on the top of your head, quick responses. What would you do?
Honestly, TV celebrity. Honestly, yeah. Surprising word. Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah, I'd go with TV celebrity.
Yes, TV celebrity, straight up
Yeah,
TV.
TV celebrity.
Boy, Doc, let me help you out. Be a YouTube sensation that is on a TV station also as a celebrity.
All right, I like that answer. I'll go with it.
All right, amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming here this afternoon and participating in this discussion. I must say, I really enjoyed speaking to each and every one of you this evening. And I hope that, you'll stick around for the Kahoot game. Maybe you'll win a prize. Who knows? So once again, thank you for participating in this discussion. And now we'll be moving into the Kahoot game. The code for the game will be sent in the YouTube chat, so you can find it there. And of course, this event would not have been possible without our sponsors, TrueShake, CLT Loan Services, Frame of Reference, AU79 Studios, Condor Queens, Golden Femme, and Get Ace. Now guys, are you ready for the Kahoot game? Like, it's a really amazing prize, So ensure that you log on and participate for your chance to win. And just share below in the chat how this event has been thus far and if you have learned anything. All right, we can see on the screen persons joining. The code is there, so continue to join, guys. All right, I see persons joining on. So the code for the Kahoot game is 5097556. And all you need to do is visit www.kahoot.it and put in the code and you will be able to join the game. All right, I see the game being filled up. Amazing. Now guys, remember that at the end of this game, the winner will be announced. And I do ask that our viewers stick around just a little bit because we will be having a post-evaluation form being sent in the chat. And we would really appreciate it if you guys would fill it out. If you're having trouble logging in onto the Kahoot game, visit www.kahoot.it and enter the code 5097556. All right, just giving our viewers 1 more minute to join the game and then we'll begin. Hey, trust me, no one will win the prize here. So join on and let's play some Kahoot. Or 40 seconds. "20 seconds. Hey, you better join on before the time, Yes, I see persons joining. That's awesome. All right, so we're about to close the game. Thank you for everyone who has joined thus far. Before we begin, I will just say what the grand prize is. So the winner of this game will receive a 2-month Netflix subscription with some true shake. Yeah, that 2-month free Netflix. Oh, no, good and shine now, don't. All right, and let the games begin. In what year was World Television Day declared a national day of celebration? All right, easy question. And the first thing we talk about when we come here today. And 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is in 1996. Yeah, what do you want to know? I want to do the listen, man. I love to see it. Okay, Mr. Brian, I see you at the top of the leadership board. All right, looking good. Moving on to our second question. In what year was the first television invented and by who? So guys, you have 20 seconds to answer the question. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the time. The answer is 1927 by Philo Taylor. Okay, I'm not seeing this clearly. It's too small and, you know, the glasses. Farnsworth. I hope I'm seeing right. Let's see who knew the answer to that. All right, Mr. Brian, you're no longer at the top of the list. Shamar is leading. Love to see it. Moving on to our third question. What is the main goal of World TV Day? All right, and the answer is to build awareness on the social, economic, and political impact of TV. And I see that majority of our participants got that answer right. Congratulations, you've been listening. And Shamar is still on top of the leadership board with OD coming on hard in second place. Moving on to our fourth question. In what year was the first color TV introduced? Again, remember that you have 20 seconds to answer the question, and the faster you answer the question, the more points you will receive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is 1954. Shamar is still in the lead. Shamar, you know about TV, man. I love to see it. Moving on to question number 5. And the answer for this question was JBC, 1962. Oh, and a lot of persons got this answer correct. 1963. Moving on to question number 6. True or false? EDU stands for European Broadcasting Union, my apologies. See the answers coming in with 10 seconds to go. I see the answers coming in. Is it true or is it false? Well, we're going to find out right now. And the answer is true. EBU stands for European Broadcasting Union. And Shamar is still in the lead with Mr. Brian coming up. I see you, Mr. Brian, coming up to take the first place. Moving on to question number 6. 7, actually, another true or false question. The first World TV Day event was held by Karimak in 2020. False. The Karimak hosted the first World TV Day in 2016. So I see that persons have been listening throughout the discussion. That's amazing. Shamar is still in the lead, but Lex is coming up on fire. Shamar, watch yourself, you know. Man, Lex, come and win. Number 8. In what year was the first color TV introduced? Everybody must get this right. Oh, and I know that our panelists are playing, but panelists, unfortunately, if you win, you will not be able to get the prize. So still play, let's see where your knowledge is. But note that the winner cannot be a panelist. And the answer is 1954. All right, Mr. Brian, I see you coming up. Oh, maybe you can give the prize to someone else. All right, so what is the slogan of Television Jamaica? So those who don't know what Television Jamaica is, it's our lovely station, TVJ. What is the slogan for Television Jamaica? Is it finger licking good? Oh, just a look at us and know. We can't believe people get that wrong. You guys don't watch local TV? But congrats to those who do know the correct answer. And on the leadership board, we still have Shamar in the lead, but Amani, I see you coming up strong. Let's continue to do the work. And our next question, Communication Group RJR was founded in 1962. True or false? 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. And the answer is false. All right, Shamar, now move. Question 11, this is the final question. What are the 2 major local TV stations in Jamaica? Is it CNN and Fox? Could be. 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is, of course, TVJ and the CBM. Let's see where the leadership board is at now. All right, in 3rd place, we have Lex. Congratulations, Lex. In 2nd place, we have our panelist, Mr. Brian Cuff. And the winner is Shamar. Congratulations, Shamar. You have won yourself a 2-month Netflix subscription and some True Shake. Okay, you know what I just realized? I realized that the Shamar on the podium is in fact Shamar Crossfield, one of our panelists. So you know what that means, Shamar? You are not able to receive this prize, which means that our winner is Lex. I don't know if Lex is a male or a female, but Lex, you have won for yourself a 2-month Netflix subscription and some True Shake. Now, I do believe that that is all the time we have today. I wish we could stay longer, but as they say, all good things must come to an end. But before we leave, let us invite Mr. Michael Lane, one of our integrated marketing communication students, to do the vote of thanks.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Karamak third year group, we would like to thank the panelists for coming out, for engaging in such a informative discussion. I'd like to thank our host, Miss Brittany Gray. That was a phenomenal session. We like to thank you for this event.
Thank you, Michael. This was truly an amazing discussion. We do hope that all participants leave here today sensitized in identifying positive ways in which we can use television and the role it has played in challenging times. Before you leave, please provide your feedback to this event by clicking the link that is being sent to the chat now. Your thoughts will be greatly appreciated. Once again, special thanks to our PR students for putting on this event, to our production team, panelists, guests, sponsors, and of course, our amazing audience. It was my pleasure to serve as your host for this evening. Thank you for coming out, and we hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. See you next year.